Okay, sir.
This
Yeah. Hi, everyone. This is Shivakant. Thanks for joining this session today. So today we will be discussing live leaderboard. So topic here is like it falls under top K pattern, where we want to identify the top K items in a given fashion. For example, if we are talking about some online competitive coding, so we want to know that who are the top 10 people who are competing in this event, or it could be also partitioned in like in India or in globally or country wise, like who are the top K people there, and that could have different usages, like it could be used for some sort of trending as well, but we will, for this discussion, we will concentrate on maybe online competitive event. So I had a couple of discussions with multiple folks to come up with this. So definitely would like to thank them as well for this compilation and all. So anyways, so let's get started. So what is the intent here is like, if we talk in terms of use case, so it's like we have to design a leaderboard for the live event, and we can have actually it's kind of more of an open kind of discussion, like some people can say that, okay, I want some sort of categorization for the event, or maybe based on region based, I want to have some sort of ranking, or maybe just the global ranking. So we'll see what all we can cover here. And similarly, like top 10 people in last day, last month, last year. So we can scan through all those proposals and see how we are able to come up with some good solution here. So yeah, so we'll start with some clarifying question here. So the very first thing is like, is it a backend platform or end-to-end solution? So as of now, we are thinking that it will be some sort of backend thing, but for demonstration, for demo, we will connect the pieces as well, which will be easy to explain, like workflow and all. So, but those will not be very core thing here, but we'll see like how we evolve this. So definitely. So what about submitting the problem versus the leaderboard generation itself? So what we are considering here is that our priority is how do we generate the leaderboard? Submitting is maybe we can be a little sketchy on how we are submitting it. For instance, if we are submitting from the web, or we are submitting from the app, whatever is there, we will not go much into the detail. We will see about how we capture the information, definitely, and the priority will be how do we generate the leaderboard. So leaderboard generation is like kind of main priority here. So I'll say like this, and submitting is like we can just touch upon this thing. So yeah, so another thing is like top K versus first versus full sorting. So this is basically what kind of ranking algorithm or approach that we are thinking. So actually there could be multiple requirements. One requirement could be that I just want top 10 people. So that would be pretty straightforward, that we have to just maintain some sorting of 10 people, or it could be an absolute sorting of all the people. So or similarly, like if I land to a certain page, my page, whether I am able to fetch 10 people above and below me. So that could be another criteria. So let me just kind of write it for here, like top 10 of the event, ranking of all people, and individual ranking. Basically the page I'm lying in, like suppose I'm on the 10th page. So how do I generate that thing? So another thing we can think about is like what kind of clients we have to serve. So as of now, we have thought that this will be mostly API or backend or platform. So we don't have to worry much about the client, as long as we provide the APIs, so we should be good enough. So yeah, so another thing is like what could be the peak traffic. Okay, we are getting a little audio from back.
again, if it's
maybe
forwarded over as well, but no matter what we were sending,
we are getting some echo from the back. Can someone mute it? Yeah. So okay, thanks. Yeah. So what would be the peak traffic? Get an answer. So here it's like typically it's a competitive event. So we will not expect 100 million user and all. I think 100K or 1 million max would be good enough for most practical purposes. Even for Google or Facebook coding event, I don't think immediately 100 million people will apply for it and they will appear at the same moment. So 1 million looks like a good number here. That's what I think. And yeah, so again, like are we looking for platform or solution? So platform will be like we just need to build some sort of maybe library or services, and end-to-end solution is how do we interact with the front end. So so it could be again confirmed with the person that okay, at what level are you, what granularity are you looking the solution for, and based on that we can prioritize our workflow. So now some systemic constraints that we are thinking here is that system should be updating the event status as soon as possible. So here what we mean is that that we are getting some ranking. Let's say I submit my solution to the problem, and once I submit the solution, it will be judged and will be provided some grade. Based on the grade, there will be some sort of aggregation, and then my final score will come, and that will build the ranking. So now that is a multi-step process, right? So in that multi-step, actually it's hard to enforce a number. For example, if someone may say, I want 100 millisecond for ranking. So what I would say is it's not possible, because typically the problem that I submit, the problem evaluation itself may take 1 second of SLA or timeout that it provides. So so this will be on best effort basis that we can think of. Definitely not 100 millisecond. And ranking, do we need real time or batch? So this is kind of near real time that we say, and again, this is when we say real time or near real time, it's always very vague. The only thing we can say is maybe we can agree with some SLA. So what will be the SLA? Maybe what about 1 minute? So again, this is open to discussion in a way that if it is a very critical and competitive environment, then maybe we can target smaller numbers, like can we do it in 10 seconds, streaming system, or can we run some sort of batch events, like everyone will be submitting their solution, but finally the ranking ranking will happen at the end of day. So those are also acceptable. I think there is nothing right or wrong there, as long as it is shared beforehand. So another thing is what about the read pattern? So the read pattern, typically this is having some different read pattern, like there will be chaotic read, like there will be desperate leaders who want to view their rank very frequently. Otherwise, most of people are others are just watching the top leaderboard, and they are just enjoying the event. They are somewhere down the line and they're still enjoying the event. And similarly, there could be chaotic, right? Yeah, so what I mean here is that at the bottom and the mid people may be making many submissions. So yeah, maybe doing many submits. So what it means is like probably at the end of event they will get some reward, or maybe some opportunity, so that way people don't want to miss on it. So I've seen people making 100 submissions for a problem. So I'm pretty sure we will have to estimate at that level. Yeah, so in terms of end system, actually only the successful submission will have impact on the ranking. So here this has to be asynchronously probably processed, and also that is just thinking a little bit of. solutioning. So before I jump to any clarification, let me wrap up till the non-functional, and then we will see, how we are doing, whether we are meeting all the expectations, or something else we want, or maybe switch the highlights. So sounds good, right? Yeah. So just give me one moment. Yeah. So before we go into this, I think I'll give an opportunity. So any questions? Like, do you think that, okay, no, I think this there is one more, constraints, or something peculiar that I'm seeing here, and you can note it, or probably the same pattern or ranking could be used for some other system that I haven't noted here. So anyone would like to highlight, then I would be happy to add here.
So ranking will change during the contest, right? I mean,
yes.
during, right? So
Yes. So this is like what I understand. So this is what, how soon do we want the ranking to change? So I think let me put it as a clear question here, because these are the very crucial thing. Submitting problem first. Okay, how soon? So if I haven't, yeah, it is not captured here. So for simplicity, I will say, a best effort basis, and this could be, discussed with your interviewer. So so now maybe you can tell me how soon do we want, and I can target that, and we'll see whether we are able to meet, or not meet, and then come up with something else, or some gaps that needs improvement. Yeah. Do you want to add something here?
no, it's like what we say. Let's say every 15 minutes, or whenever you see a new person who has solved, I mean, what do you say, in the same amount of time, much number of questions, his rank will go up, right? So how will you decide that threshold? Is it like every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you'll keep on shuffling?
Yeah, sure. So I definitely understand. So this is what I've seen two extreme. One thing is, like, there are some events where people go ahead, they submit, and at the end of day, the rankings will be provided. And there are events where almost live, like almost instantaneously, you keep submitting, you keep the rankings going up and down, and you keep competing with them. Like, there will be definitely multiple criteria. So there will be, some sort of a score mechanism will be there. So it could be based on, your submission, based on your time of submission. Then yeah, so each submission will have some score, and yeah, what else? Yeah, so definitely, yes, and there will be definitely yeah, number of submissions. So yeah. So let me just explain. Actually, it's the same thing. So I'll just include it in a single one, number of submissions. So let's say, for simplicity, like I have, 10 problems, or let's say 10 would be too much, 5 problems for 3 hours. So now, like maybe a short event of CodeChef, or something like Top Coder of that sort, we can think around. Long and all, actually, will have different things. So I think, yeah. So this might be a suitable fit, right? So yeah. So this is what is best effort. So this is something that we can debate around, and we can agree that, hey, I think we should make it in 10 seconds. So, let me, make it, can we do it in 10 seconds? Anything else?
Shiva, one question, like, can we like incorporate that cricket leaderboard we have, like the scoring that goes on? Can we like incorporate that model into this type of system?
Yeah, but you'll have to help me, like, what exactly happens in cricket leaderboard. I'm not actually conversed with that.
Cricket will be different, right? See, cricket will be different. Like,
No,
what?
say like for IPL points board we have, no, but that frequency will be very less, like comparatively the updating frequency. For cricket
Okay.
leaderboard, we have different teams competing for the positions in a
Oh,
leaderboard.
okay, got it.
That means
Yeah. So this can be so actually IPL rankings. This is very this does not actually require computer. I mean, just to be true, like we because there will be 10 or maybe 10 or 12 teams will be there, and then they will have maybe their own 12 scores will be there, like aggregated scores. Their 12 aggregated scores. So this is very small. So this actually does not require computer. I mean, we can do it in Excel sheet actually. So yeah. So as long as we feed it and then we present it with some beautiful UI, we are just fine with it. So yeah, I think it does not require building a new system. That is my thought. So unless it is, if you compare it with maybe multiplayer online games, then probably there it might fit. Let's say there is something called MOBA or MMORPG. So where maybe millions of players are playing either online or they are sitting nearby and they are competing, and things are really fast changing. So here what I see is IPL ranking is like it might take 3 to 6 hours of match, and then you get a score. I think at the end of match the score may matter. So it's very, very slow changing, and scale is low here. So here either the scale is high in millions, or definitely it is very fast changing, like like you go ahead, you hit someone and you immediately get 10 points, and then you get hit yourself. So
So,
minus 5
Shiva,
points, very fast changing.
What do you think of like Dream 11 kind of betting games where we have that people have their own team, and for individual ball tracking, after each ball the player position changes as a player's course run. Like Dream 11
So,
is there. So
yeah, so Dream 11 again, I'll need little help here. Like with Dream 11, do you think like there are more than 10, 12 teams? Is it like hundreds or thousands of team that play together in Dream 11, or is it just pairing that happens? Yeah.
No, for Dream 11, what happens, like for like there are people who register for the game, and for each individual people say they pick up their team. So they pick up their team, and they pick up the players from the both teams. So whenever a wicket falls, a 6 happens or a 4 happens, or even a single run happen, the player who are like participating in the game, their ranking changes. So there are like more than lakhs people who are participating live online. So the scoreboard might change with every ball. It happens.
Got it.
Is it a kind of like fantasy cricket, like here?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, got it. So so fantasy cricket actually definitely I get it. So here it's more like we are trying to convert the cricket into some sort of I think MOBA pattern. Like there are two people competing with each other, right?
No, there are like millions of people competing with each other.
No, but so, there will be always a pairing will be there, no?
Pairing, I think it will be based on the points they are getting. Like after every ball, if a player has more point, he will move up the leaderboard.
Yeah, so there will be concurrent games happening. Maybe we can just assume 1 million games because that can be handled. So in 1 million games, let's say I've been done some pairing, and in that I'm lucky to just get a weaker team, and I'm able to quickly make sixes or out and blah blah, and I can quickly score up, and then my next pairing will be the stronger team. So it will be based on my expertise, they will match it, and then finally they will calculate the score. So here definitely, as there are a lot of concurrent games, and this definitely cannot be calculated manually, so this has to be done by strong backend or data engineering expertise that would definitely fit. So yeah, maybe we can touch upon this and we'll see how we are able to catch up with this. So the thing is, as long as we have the scoring, yeah, let's say that individual picks up and they have scoring. So as long as we have universal scoring, let's say if there is universal scoring, then it becomes simple again. Like I can always say that, okay, I'm playing with a weaker team. So in weaker team, I will have a weightage of one weightage. And, let's say, 1 wicket is 1 and 1 6 is whatever, some 2. And then maybe, something like I get a century, I will get a 5 and all. So once I, once I graduate to a stronger team, maybe there will be 2 weightage score, and but all these will lie the same. So with the universal scoring formula, we can use this anyways. I think we can put it in some sort of sorting mechanism, and we will get the global ranking pretty easily. So I think it is doable. Yeah. So yeah, so let's move on to, so sounds good, right? And anything else? Anything else?
No, I think we can move.
Okay, so let me move forward. So most likely for these scenarios as well, like what I'm seeing, concurrent games as well, like we can expect, I think, 1 million concurrent, and that is pretty huge in itself. At one point, it might seem very small. I mean, 1 million daily active user, but they will be concurrent. That is the pain point here. So how we are ingesting their scores, or if they are querying a lot to our system, probably we will have to think about how do we build those kind of systems. So let's see how we highlight those things. So let me finish this thing. I think we are a bit delayed here, but let me finish this. So you should be able to view the leaderboard, whatever that is, and you should be able to filter by region or some other criteria. So this is I'm thinking, can we build some sort of hierarchical model? But as of now, we don't have a solution. We will just elaborate, like, okay, this might work, that might work. We will see. User should be able to filter by time. So this is some sort of, we can do some aggregation over time. So this again, we'll have to think what all options we have, and user should be able to filter by event ID. So here we are not much bothered about submitting the event, but just for the heck of it, we can say that users should be able to submit their scores. So this will be more like implicit, because we don't want we don't want that the user submits some wrong score, or let me reword it. The system should be able to capture the running score. I think that will be more justified, and it will sound that, okay, we will not be able to hack. So system should be able to capture the live running score and feed it to the aggregation system, some sort of. So that is what we are seeing. So now a couple of things here. So again, some of these things may need revisit because it was like drafted a while back. So when we have been low latency here, actually we mean the serving latency. End-to-end latency will still be high. So this is like just serving latency we are talking about, because in a live competitive event there will be a number of people that wants to see their scores or where the toppers are. So there are actually 3 hierarchies here. So one thing is for serving this, and for end to end, we can agree to something. Like I'm thinking maybe 1 minute should be good enough, but again, this is something we can get a confirmation, like, okay, this might be good number or bad number. And no constraint on historic ranking. So what is a historic ranking we are talking about is that, the event is finished already, so we can, run maybe a nightly job and, finish it off. So yeah. And 1 million daily active user, or maybe, I should say 1 million concurrent user, that will be more impacting. And total users, we can say maybe 10 million total. I think that should be good enough. And here, this is one thing that will be very much something that we can debate about. So we can always say, okay, we can build a 3 level of 9 of availability, or some people might ask 4, but I think 5 would be an overkill. 3 or 4 should be just enough. And what about availability over consistency? So what do we want? Is it like eventual consistency is just fine with us, or we want very strong consistency? So at that point of time, I thought, okay, maybe eventual is just fine for the reader, because if I see my rank 2 seconds later, it won't have a catastrophic effect. But what if it is something that this is a cross question. Like, what if it's a commercial event, let's say that there is a $1 million reward, I think a lot of places that kind of thing might be happening. Then this will require, we need confirmation. Like, okay, I think there may be an ask that, hey, eventual consistency model will not work here. We want very strong consistency, because there is huge amount of bet available here. But we can again re-justify that, hey, after 2 seconds or something, we are anyway getting into the good state, and finally we will have strong consistency numbers. Then what? Maybe the live will be little off. Can we live with finally before freezing the event, we can say maybe take a 10 minutes break, and then we will publish the numbers. So does that work, basically? So that could be some justification. So what I mean here is, sometime we may have to actually cross questions the assumption. It should not be that, okay, someone says that, okay, I want 100% availability, 100% reliability, 100% 0 millisecond latency. So these things cannot be done, right? So at time we may have to go back, question the assumptions. So that is what I'm trying to raise here, and give an alternative. I understand strong consistency is important, but for the live leaderboard, maybe eventual would do. Next thing is like read write ratio. So this is again for this kind of scenario, it is very confusing. Some people might say, hey, it is very read heavy, because every time people will definitely refresh the ranking, or it will be a push based refresh. So there will be too much reads, and some people might say, hey, there are too many submissions happening. What about that? So now this is something that we can touch upon. So one sneak peek, at least what I got after discussing with a couple of folks, is though it is write heavy, but those writes are not leading to the ranking change, right? So ranking change impact would be less, like there will be only few successful submission. So most likely it could be on the reader side. So that is what is there. Yeah. So let's say for as an assumption, if we are talking about total versus successful submission, so in an extreme scenario, it could be 100:1. But this is very extreme. Like I have maybe a fourth problem of 5, or a fourth out of 5, or fifth out of 5 that I just desperately want to try. So let's say the last problem, or there are partial problems also. So there also, people will be just desperate to explicitly put if X is equal to 1, print 1, if X is equal to 2, print 2, they handpicked some solution and they just want to put it. So this could be very high, and implicit is always reliability, fault tolerance, maybe security sometimes. So yeah, so does it sound good? As of now, I know we have taken good amount of time, but this is a bit of vague problem. That's why. Yeah, I'll take a moment.
How did we come to TPS as 1K?
Oh, this one. Okay. Let me visit this part. So any clarification or any confirmation or addition in the previous section? Maybe then I will go to the next section.
Okay.
Okay, so let me go to that. So I'll try to finish this, and some of these may require touching up, and then we will go to the high level design again. It might require a little touching up, but yeah, so that will actually be good in a way that we are not talking on a frozen design, but more like something that can be iterated and improved upon. This is like just being more realistic. So we were talking about 1 million daily active user, 10 million total users. So coincidentally, this is what I had captured here as well a while back. Yeah, 10 million total. So constantly, this is what I had captured a while back, and this is aligning. Now, the only difference here is that these daily active users, they don't impact much. The core here is there could be massively concurrent users. So I just bluntly said 1 million concurrent users. So maybe if you are playing mobile and all, that will be exactly the numbers. Every hit will have a score, or but here for competitive coding, I don't think people submit solutions instantaneously, right? Even the best Facebook coders, I mean, assuming Facebook expects maximum fastest coding, they do it in maybe 10 minutes or something like that, which is 500 seconds. So on an average, we can say that people are, even if there are 1 million active active users, on an average, maybe they are submitting a problem every 100 seconds. I think that is also an overkill. So let's say I'm just trying to come up with some number that makes sense. So let's say it's a 3 hours event. So that means it has roughly how much? Like 10,000 seconds are there, right? So how many submissions a person might make very desperately? So they might make 100 submissions. So the maximum submissions we can expect is maybe so 100 submissions they are making. So now they are doing 100 submissions over 10,000 seconds. So now this is, I think these numbers will fall down. This was a wrong calculation. So now they are doing 100 submissions in 10,000 seconds. So what I see is this is coming to very less. Now, let's say this is coming to how much? Like 100 into 100 submissions into 1 million users divided by 10,000. So how much is it coming to? So this is coming to okay, so this is coming to 100 to 100. So this is coming to 10k writes per second, and in terms of concurrency, maybe up to 100 milliseconds, these guys will be locking the system. So 1k maybe concurrent concurrent executions or concurrent read or writes may be required. So does this calculation make sense, or is it completely new? Because to me it looks new. I haven't done this kind of calculation before. Like mostly the traffic that we get is in terms of daily user, we just multiply 10 times or 100 times. So here we have to also do a little bit of divide here. So like in 3 hours, which is roughly 10,000 seconds, I'm doing 100 submissions on an average. So in 10,000 seconds, and there are 1 million such people. So this is coming to 100 into 100. So this is 10K writes per second are happening, and let's say 100 millisecond it takes to write. So maybe 1K concurrent writes. So does this make sense? Like is it aligning with expectation? Yeah, so let me revisit this thing. I think this may be little haywire. So yeah, 100 reads per user. Why I'm talking about reads and writes? I think none of these actually make sense, though. Somewhere we are going there, but that is just a coincidence. So yeah, so this is 1K concurrent writes, and
so I think it should be 100K per write per second.
100K write per second.
Yeah, 100 into 1 million by 10K. It should be 100K.
So okay, so
100K should be right. 100 into 1 million by 10K.
Oh no, yeah. I think my bad. You are right.
Oh, million has 3, right? 6.
No, it's actually 10K. I thought it's 1K. My bad.
Yes.
yeah, this is 6, and this is
Yeah, it's
4.
fine. Yeah, you are right. So.
Okay. So this is 8 and 4. This is 4 only. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just making 4 decimals. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is correct. Nice. So now, so this is 1K concurrent write and read. Now, this is like little bit vague. Like we were discussing about it, like whether it will be read heavy, write heavy, and what all things could actually impact the read. So there are multiple scenarios that could happen. One thing is like, let's say that people are basically the participants are refreshing their page. Okay, so this is basically the pull kind of model that they are really desperate to see, or there will be auto refresh of the page. So in either case, what would be the impact here? That is what I'm thinking. So I think I don't have very clear numbers here. If someone has any idea, like what should we read for these kind of ranking page? So this is what I can think of. In the auto refresh, can I, we talked about, can I refresh in 10 seconds, right? That was the best thing. So 10 seconds, if I'm refreshing, I need to just, push it to all 1 million participants. So this looks like some big thing to be true. So, maybe we can do it 100 seconds. So then what it will come up to is maybe, 10K event push per second. So at least in manageable range, right? Now auto refresh, this is something what we are talking about the auto refresh. And similarly, when the participants are doing pull, how soon the participant will do a pull? I think give or take, it will be of the similar order. Like, sometime when I submit a problem, then only I would like to see the things reflect, right? So let's say I'm doing 100 submissions. So in 100 submission in 10,000 seconds. So of the same order, like I'll do per 100 second. I will do some refresh, and that is again maybe of the order of 10K page pulls. If the rendering is our responsibility, yeah, fine. So I think then slightly here the numbers will change. So this is coming to average 10K QPS, and like we really want 10x. Here I think that looks like going too much. So I'm not sure whether we should go into this. I'm just striking for my own benefit. But if someone feels we have to plan for some sort of spike, but this is not a spike sale. So where this will impact, okay, where there will be a spike, let me definitely mention that for the benefit of it, that I know I'm just taking some benefit here, but let's say that where the spike can happen is the event is going to almost end. So let's say 5 minutes is remaining, and people are really going desperate here, and then last 1 minute they will refresh all the rankings very desperately. So this is what I have seen personally, like participating in other events. At least in CodeChef, this is what I've seen, that system starts becoming slow actually. Whether we like it or not. So actually the system starts behaving really weirdly for last minute kind of scenario. So there is no sale, but last minute scenario, it could lead to 10x, 100x, 1000x kind of traffic. So probably we will have to apply some sort of rate limiting and other things. I don't think there is a way to scale to that level, and even if there is any gain. So does it make sense? I know it's like we spent good amount of time here. Probably I think I should jump to high level design. Otherwise we'll be really short of time.
Yeah, let's evolve to high level, I think. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So some of these things anyway we can discuss, and it will be open to what the interviewer wants, and we can jump to this. So let me talk about the high level system design, where I think there will be a lot of things to debate around, and maybe a couple of improvements that might come as part of this bigger discussion. So the very first thing that we are thinking here is that there will be some sort of ranking service which can be this could be embedded in your mobile app, or your basically mobile app, or gaming device, whatever you feel suitable, whatever the system is applicable. So what this system will do is it will do the publishing of these events. So now so a little bit what we are thinking is, let me slightly change in this way. It is not a user, but just an external person. And then this guy will actually do the score publishing. I think this will be more intuitive. Let's say this is the mobile device. And for this guy is the user. And definitely here also we will need some sort of, it has to be backed by, a load balancer and firewall. Just that I'm not showing here, because our priority more is in going into the leaderboard part of it. So now let's quickly jump here. So it will come to the ranking service. It will send
Shiva,
these. Yeah.
So
please.
sorry to interrupt you. So you are saying that somebody physically publish these score?
No. So here I'm just putting an actor. It is not a human. So
Okay.
Embedded in your mobile app. So what I'm trying to mean here is this is an external system for your service, because what happens is, let's say you have a mobile device that is there. So it's not a human. Sorry if it is being seemingly look like that. So it is embedded in your mobile or app. This is basically a robotic submission, I would say. Yeah, so let me
Okay, so could you help me to understand? So here when we were talking about these competitive programming board, and looks like now we are jump to some sort of a gaming board.
Okay, sorry. I understand. I think my bad. I was in mixed state of mind. I think I should concentrate on that because otherwise it is confusing for the audience. Let me take it that way. So let me connect. Yeah. So I was just thinking how I can quickly converge to some scores and play around with that. But I think for the benefit of this submission, then I'll have to slightly change this thing. Let me change this thing. I think that is for good. My bad. So let's say that I submit my I just submit my solution, and this solution will actually go to Yeah, so I'm just seeing how much detail I want to put it here. On successful submission forward, okay, object, okay, fine. So here, this will be like, scoring service, not exactly a scoring. Actually, it's more like a submission service. So, problem submission service. I think I'll just keep it submission service, as simple as that. So here, what I will do is I'll just call this guy, and there I will submit the solution. So I'll not go into much detail like how we are submitting. For example, we can put that submission into S3, and then it will go into the submission service. It will then go into some sort of async model, and what it will do is on successful submission, forward those scores to the further aggregation system. Yeah, thanks for correcting my assumption. I was just quickly jumping to some scores, so that was actually wrong. So here I will get some updated score and event in real time, and we can just put the solution maybe here and the object score, and my this thing, I will get the numbers here. Now we can think about the main priority part here. So let me slightly change, basically reorganize this thing so that it is easier to maybe highlight it later. So this is coming here, and this is coming here, and can this come here? And
So
what I'm thinking is,
Shiva, in this
yeah.
design, is that a fair assumption that we are not worried about how we will accept these submission, how we will prioritize them and ranking them? We don't care about them. We just get the
yeah. So as of now, in this scope, we are not caring more, but we can always, based on priority, we can always discuss and debate those issues as well. But as of this scope, it is not covered much, just to be
Oh,
true.
okay. Well, that could be a altogether a separate problem. It has
Yes,
its
yes.
own challenges.
Yes. So I was actually doing mock with one of my buddy, Shining. So he was talking in terms of submissions, where how he would submit this in VM and probably some virtual machines, and maybe containerization, where if something goes bad, it will not impact the overall system, or you run your code with a timeout. If it does not succeed, then so all these, that itself has a lot of nuances, and more from the execution perspective here. All in all, I want to jump. I know it's very late, but
I was thinking from
yeah.
so like for all these competitive programming, so like people actually join throughout the world. So how will you shard your data? Where will you process that execution? Where will you execute that?
Sure. So definitely. So those things could be covered. So the good and the bad part here is, the good part is here is scale is high, but not extremely high. Like we will not have really billions of concurrent programmers. So that will give us a little leeway on scale nuances. So now, so let me come here and maybe suggest some, first of all, sketchy solution, and we can think about how we can improve upon it. So the very first thing and the simple solution I would suggest is like, if we don't have very strong constraints on the ranking, or if we want to build end of day ranking or something like that, end of event ranking. So whatever scores I have here, probably those scores, whatever the scores I have, I can run some sort of batch job, and I aggregate all the batch job, and finally I'll put the ranking here. So this is basically the trade-off will be yeah. So let me put it as a section, so that it comes as an option, and not like, oh hey, we can't do this. So here, like the batch aggregation. So in the batch aggregation, the benefit would be that there will be, like, if we talk in terms of lag, so it will be like definitely huge lag, like maybe after the event it will require 10 minutes to aggregate everything, probably. Okay, but the good part would be, it will be highly consistent. like all the events have already been done. It's over, and now it's time to aggregate. And what we can do is when we are aggregating, we can make sure that no more ingestions are happening. Basically, this pipeline is shut down, so that that's what we see, right? Once a event is done, we shut down the pipeline. So that way it will be highly consistent aggregation, very accurate kind of thing. So this is one kind of option here. Now this may be suitable for certain pattern, and but it may not be suitable for certain other patterns. So in the other pattern, actually we will require going maybe deep dive and proposing some solutions. Like we can have like how do I do ranking here? So we'll have to think about like, okay, I get all the scores. Let's say the scores are simple pair of let's say I'm just thinking like event ID, and then user ID, and then maybe some sort of total score. So can I put this in? First of all, the very basic solution would be, can I run this sorting or in a single VM, something of that sort. So let me put that as a proposal. So here I went very high level. I just said I'll use some sort of batch aggregation, and I can probably write some sort of Spark job, or basically I will say MapReduce job, a MapReduce like Spark job, and many times we actually simple SQL or functional Python Scala also works here. So it's we have a lot of options here to get the job done, just if we are really getting into the nitty-gritty details here. And the next option is going into like really coding or the algorithm. So how can we do it? So yeah, so like basically I will say near real time, which is like we will have some SLA. So again, real time is also SLA only. So the way here, let's say that I try to build it on a one VM basically. So what all can I do? So this is basically a ranking model that we want to build, right? So can I do some sort of I'll have this data model. So the very simple thing what I can do here is where is this guy? Yeah, so the very simple thing is put all the new raw scores in some array or something, and how many players are playing. It's just 1 million, right? So I just put it in. So this is a trade-off I'm discussing there. This is no way definitely a perfect solution. Put it in some array, and every 10 seconds we were talking about, or probably 100 seconds. Just sort it and store it in cache. So can we do this? So this could be one model where it will be very simple to implement and get the scores right. And now what else could be options here? So another option could be that that instead of this is basically we are talking about every full sort. So full sort will actually require order and login. So again, for 1 million, it's very small. So but this has a lot of lag, maybe 10 seconds or something like that. So if someone wants even much faster, so what we can do is probably we can more efficient is we can probably batch for 1 second, and then do some sort of insertion sort and insert it from the back. So let's say it will take maybe KN or something like that sort of. So what else can we do? Can we use some advanced maybe some data structure, probably maybe a heap or something, and we will just keep pushing without any worry, and at the end of 10 seconds or whatever is the frequency, I just pop everything and get a sort. So these are some options we have. So I think I'm happy to hear more options if someone can think of from one VM perspective, especially who know of algorithmic coding and all. Maybe someone has any other idea like what might work here. So these are something that I can think of.
So my take here will be number one. We have to clear with the person that during the competition, most of the people who are worried about the score are very limited. So like top 10, top 100 should be enough.
Correct.
And number two, we are doing, if that's not that option does not fly, then we can think about as we are doing every 100 seconds. So most of the score during that time will not change. So like initial first second, if we try to do that, so most of the score will be 0 only. So we can skip that and we can just sort remaining. So that will reduce the complexity from n log n to some constant number.
Yes. So that is what I was also like thinking, like maybe we can have some sort of insertion kind of thing, like we can have a hybrid data structure, like it will be a doubly linked list with a hash map, basically some sort of LRU cache kind of model we can build, where what we can do is let's say that every 10 seconds only 10 people's ranking change. Okay, so what we can do is we can just delete 10 folks ranking. We can just delete them. So what we will do is, let's say there are hundreds 100 submissions that happened. I'm just making up some numbers. I think there will be much more, but let's say that there are 1,000 changes in score. Now those changes, what we will do is we will just fetch in this LRU kind of cache, and then we will delete them, and then we can insert them from back. So this could be an option, but the only thing is here the n log n part, actually n log the login, although it seems heavy, it's very lightweight. So does not look like to me that it might add any value. So login for 1 million will be just 20. So if more than 10 folks, 20 folks are ranking are changing, then insertion sort will not be optimal. Like this is non-optimal actually. So Shashank, what do you think?
Another option I'm thinking here that if we can tweak our database. So I'm thinking here there will be lots of duplicates in the score. So like more than one person will score this have the same score. So we can just tweak our data structure, and instead of actually putting all these value, we can just actually have the score, and then under that the user IDs.
Surely. So especially if there are so that is bucket sort of model might be useful, where we have limited buckets. So we call it, I think, bucket sort only, or count sort. There are some similar Redix bucket and count. So in this, let's say that we have I definitely this sounds like a good suggestion. So let's say there are just granular scores, let's say 10, 20, 30 and 40. Just say that only 4 scores are there. So yeah, I understand, some sort of I think it's called bucket sort. So we can apply bucket sorting, and that could be much faster. Yeah, this could be applied definitely. Anything else at this granular level? Otherwise, I'll go ahead and maybe suggest something in between, and then we can always debate around. No, I think this will not work and that will not work.
No, this makes sense.
Just one.
Please suggest, because I think this is a good opportunity. We can talk about any data structure algorithm. I think we have really good number of guys here, and people have done due diligence. So I think it is really good to do. So
is the assumption is this leaderboard will have based on the percentile we are considering the bucket for
what?
percentile
No. No, these are not percentile. So this is what, let's say, I have, for every problem, I'm just giving 10 points flat. That's all. There is the 10 or nothing. So what, so it's like, one submission, one successful submission is equal to 10 points. So the for a 4-point event, it will always be either 20, 30, 40, or a 0 will be also there. So that is what he was also telling. So maximum number of people will be just like maybe 99% will be here only. I think 99 is too harsh, but let's say 90% of the people will be here, and I can just go up maybe 9% will be here, just so to say. So this will be just unsorted list will also do, and we can again sort it based on the arrival of their submission, but that is like a secondary. I think it is called secondary sort. Secondary.
Even that skip list should work, right?
Okay. So yeah, skip. How will the skip list work here?
I think level by level we fill in this, right? First we start from the bottom level, get sorted, then we move to the top. I mean, I'm just recalling here.
Skip list is the one where we jump from, yeah, like we can jump n number, log n number and all, right? So I'm also just pulling it. So yeah, we already saw. So this is, if you want to jump here, so total ordering may not be required here. What we can do is, it is very simple. What we can do is we can go to the maximum score bucket. We will print everyone in that bucket, and then we'll go to the next bucket and next bucket and send some sort of skip list kind of thing we can make, but it is not required if we are just thinking of total ordering. So, but yeah, but you can always
right. Binary search you can apply in skip list, right?
Binary search
while reading the query, right? So you can
okay. Ranking numbers, if we want, probably we can get it. Yeah, might be, especially for absolute ranking. So what simply we are thinking is, I'm still skeptic about that, because my total ranking could be very simple. Let's say that I will just say that, okay, what is my ranking? I'll just go 40 score. Whoever is above me, I will just add to that rank, and 30 I will just add to that rank, and in between 20 I can just give any random number for the heck of it. And or if it is based on a secondary sort on arrival time, then there it will be simple. So this will be an ordering, this will be an ordering, these will be buckets. So actually 0, 10, 20, 30, 40 will be buckets. There is no ordering needed. But it's simple, like 40 will be always coming to the first. So what we can do is, whenever I'm doing my ranking at the 20, I will just say size of 40 plus size of 30 plus my ranking in 20. So I'm still thinking where the skip list will play here. I'm not able to find. Maybe you can justify.
Oh.
Yeah.
No,
So yeah. So this is like, we can have simply a hash map of, key will be the total score, and value will be, ordered list of items, and that would be based on some arrival time. So that will be always append only, kind of, we can always think. Yeah, but things might be dynamic, easier said than done, but I'm still thinking that skip list, what will be the use. So okay, in the benefit of the time, let me jump to some out of the box solution. So this is what I'm thinking, that hey, can we use maybe specialized data stores, or distributed data structures. So so this is what is the first thing that is coming to my mind. There are actually two things. So one thing is, can I use or Redis? Sorry, can I use maybe
distributed hash table, right? In the previous one.
this will be distributed hash table. No, this is, we are talking about just one VM. This is just a single, yeah. So because we are just saying that the 1 million events, only 1 million users are there, right? So we can do it in
But
one
those,
virtual machine.
those users will be across the globe, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that your globalization part, I think I'll have to capture it separately because it might require different handling. So I think I'll capture it here. I'll see whether I'm able to cover it here or not. So before I go into that, at least for one data center, I should at least launch it in US before getting into so many nuances. So I'll come to that. So so the very first thing that, so at least this part is clear, right? 1 VM. Shashank, if you have any clarity.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
This is fine, right? Okay.
What do you mean by 1 VM?
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So this is what
virtual machine is fine, but what does it mean that all the code, I mean, whatever submission you have, you will try to execute on that, or?
Yes. So what we are proposing is that this will be non-distributed, like simple non-distributed solution where we will have just one machine, maybe a Python instance or Java, Scala, whatever is person's favorite. So they will just run it, and that could run in again, maybe like EC2, Docker, whatever is there, just a single instance. So just one virtual machine that we are talking about. And there we can solve this. The only problem is availability. So anyway, this is almost like stateless, right? We can do the sorting very quickly. So if one of the instance goes down, we can bring up a new instance quickly, do the calculation, and we can always have cache results somewhere. So we can have parallel, like 3 deployments having the same calculation. So assuming that they will get the same ingestion, then it should not be much of an issue. So now just going to the space.
You're saying that all the 1 million user submissions will get executed only on that VM? Is that?
Yes. So
and that VM will support, I mean, as these programming platform supports all the popular language. So you're saying that this VM will support all the programming language, and how?
No. So what I'm talking about here is this is just the leaderboard service. The submission and all we are kind of skipping as part of the scope. We are just saying that, okay, that on successful submission, forward those scores to scores. So right now, if I talk about the submission platform.
Okay. So you are saying
we are just skipping it.
So this VM will take care all the scores.
Yes. Yeah, so this is basically a little like a sketchy solution that we have proposed here. So this will be just doing the ranking. Yeah, so this is near real time. Let me say ranking on 1 VM, whether it is near real time or not, that is on us. So yeah, so this is just a single machine that we are talking about, and nothing to do with submission. In terms of language, what I said is, some people may think what is virtual machine, it does not align with me. So don't worry, just bring your own server or service, it doesn't matter. So let me just close this part, and then we can highlight on any rest of things. So this is what I know of, that instead of using custom solution, because it will require a lot of coding and all, and there could always be bugs and optimization and always debates, like we saw, like 6-7 points have come up. And so instead of that, can we just evaluate at pre-existing solutions? So can we use maybe Redis sorted set? So here, what is the benefit that we are getting is a specialized data store, which is also distributed data store. So here it may not be fault tolerant, right? So you will require, maybe parallel deployments will be necessary, right? To make it fault tolerant. So would be necessary. And in worst case, they would have separate calculation, and it could be non-repeatable as well, but we'll not go into those things as of this discussion. So here by Redis sorted set, what we mean is we will ingest all score to this, and every 10 seconds iterate over this specialized data structure, and maybe cache the response or something like that, cache the response or something like that. So this could be one model.
Couchbase is fine here, right? In place of Redis, that's also Couchbase is also fine.
Yeah. As long as Couchbase is also fine. So I think Couchbase also supports CouchDB, right? What is Couchbase? CouchDB, right?
I mean, Couchbase DB only, right?
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So CouchDB basically does it have some sort of sorted set or something?
I know, but that's a distributed NoSQL Cloud DB, right?
Yeah.
That's a distributed NoSQL DB.
I think just a key value store.
Key value store, NoSQL, it's key value store. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just check like if it is okay. Okay, it's Couchbase only. My bad. Does it have? Yeah, does it have anything of? Yeah, so there internally it might be using skip list and all, but we will not go into that much detail, I think. So if it has some sort of sorted list support, why not basically? So we can use that. So the whole point here is that we don't want to build anything. We want to just delegate. Okay. So, and we trust on the underlying implementation with certain trade-off. So as long as it is serving the purpose, of course, it should not be that, hey, someone says that, okay, Redis sorted set actually insertion takes order and deletion takes order and sorting takes order n square. I'm sorry, this is out of the scope, then we will not be able to use that thing. So what other solutions are there is maybe we can use white column DB, like maybe Cassandra. So let me categorize it this way, because typically we would like to talk in terms of key value store, and here the first option will be Redis. The other could be Couchbase, assuming that it has the same model, and maybe the second one will be the white column data store. So here everyone's favorite, like can we use Cassandra, or maybe can we use Dynamo? So at least I know in Dynamo they have partition key and sort key is there. So can I use the event ID as a partition key, and can I use the scores as sort key? So if that can be done, why not this? And the last thing that we can use, just that I think I'll have to double check whether it supports some sort of ranking or not. Can we use some sort of time series DB here? So far, I know that it is very useful for aggregation and very fast ingestion, like 100K events per second you can ingest and aggregate at the same time, like almost as fast as Kafka. So and we can of course build some custom solution on top of it, like someone will say that why are you building a consumer here? Can we have K stream, K table? So this is a Confluent Kafka solution that we can think of, K stream, K table, and then someone will say that, hey, I'm very much conversed with a streaming system, building a streaming system, like maybe I'm conversed with Flink, I'm conversed with Spark, and I know that it supports some model of runtime aggregation with holding some of these values. So these could be also evaluated. So actually these are a couple of options are there, and it will require actually further read. I know that Flink supports some time window aggregation, but again, to what extent, whether it will be useful, and can it actually do ranking as well, like sorting? We need to do some reading, like if we can hold that everything in memory. So then it will be really fast. The only thing is we'll have to look for how to hold that thing in memory and how to repopulate that. So these are a couple of options that I could think of, and I came up in the this time. So anything else someone wants to talk about, definitely then we can come up. Maybe if nothing else, then we can talk about this.
Hello. Hey.
Yeah.
So Kafka is more of a message broker, right? And why did we put it in the category of data stores, in-memory data stores like Redis and all? You put like. So why did you put it in that category? I'm just confused.
Kafka
Yeah,
is
sure,
also
sure.
New storage it has, yeah, right?
Yes, Kafka
Isn't
can
it?
data for certain days, which you can.
Correct.
So whatever basically you are having a high throughput data, correct? Like 7 days or 10 days, we can persist the data in a K table and you can build service out of them and you can expose.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Yeah, so
And
these are actually
and also
commercial.
Shiva DynamoDB. DynamoDB is also one of the key value store. Then that
Yeah.
it's already there. Okay.
Yeah. So this is. Yeah. Sorry about that. And that is the biggest confusion of the century, I think. Dynamo versus DynamoDB. So this is a commercial solution that we are talking about. There may be others as well. So we are So these are a couple of options that I can think of. And here, I know people. This is actually a hybrid model. And this always comes up like people say that, okay, this is a key value store. I understand it is a key value store as well, but some of these things, partition key and short key, it is the short key does not align with key value model. It aligns more with the wide column. So I consider it more like wide column, but anyways, it's open to that thing. So anything else? At least this got answered, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had some very fundamental questions here.
Why not?
So so this is my perception. Maybe I'm wrong, or maybe this is something expected at a different level altogether. When we're talking of a high-level design, from what I have understood, that mostly we don't really go into the specifications of the type of DB, which exactly product or vendor we are going to use. We generally throw it at as a NoSQL or a SQL, and once the MVP is completed, then there are trade-offs. Like, okay, what if the scale increases? How will we manage that? There could be sharding, there could be partitioning, or there could be master-slave configuration, right? That's what my perception was. So I'm just trying to understand this discussion in terms of whether it should be Redis, Couchbase, Cassandra, DynamoDB. At what level is this really expected? Which position is this? Something that is expected normally in a SD or SDM interview, or is it something looking at a higher level? I'm just trying to grasp the interview from an interview perspective.
Sure. So I think this is something that I'll leave it to the team to tell. I will take notes. I have my thoughts, but I think there is no right answer here. If I go ahead with my answer, probably it will be biased. So basically abstractions versus concrete stores. So does someone has any view on this? I have a lot of views, but I will probably keep it before someone wants to say here. Like does anyone has any suggestions here?
Yeah, I think that depends on the person on the other side of the table, right? Like if he's expert in Kafka, he has done, he might grill you on that. Like, I mean, if you say that you have also done Kafka and you're showing that lot of interest, so direction of the interview will change in that case, right?
Okay, so one thing I'm seeing, so I'm actually collecting ideas, and then I'll also put my thought and at the end of the it. So level of experience of the interviewer and interviewee.
Both, yeah. Correct.
Okay. What else like people feel like no?
I think Praveen was answering. Yeah.
Yeah, so my personal preference during the interview is go shallow.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So until unless your interviewer wants to know more in that, that's my personal
Okay.
preference, and I follow that. And I did not see any problem so far. And
Okay.
when you
Okay.
throw and try to avoid buzzword as much as you can, until
Okay.
unless
Okay.
until unless you know the details. I mean, especially when you are applying for the senior position,
Yeah.
avoid as much as you can. Don't just throw the buzzword, and when they ask you, just say that, okay, I don't know much. So
Okay.
and be clear that, okay, if you don't know, you don't know. You cannot be a person who know everything.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
and
Sure.
second is, if you, as Shashank mentioned, that if you know the product and you feel that that will be a best fit here, then I don't think so there is any harm to mention that. And if you can actually handle all the follow-ups on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. 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 Sure. So got it. So anything else anyone wants to add here?
No, I think these are the only points, right? I mean,
Oh, okay. Cool. So I think I have similar experience. Like when I was learning about these new things, I was really excited to talk about. Hey, I will use Redis. I will use this and that. And a couple of maybe SD2, SD3 up to that level. People were excited. Why not? I think Redis is a very good choice and all. But once I was talking with some architects and all, and so they were getting pissed off that why are you immediately jumping to Kafka? Why are you what due diligence did you do by putting Kafka here? And why exactly you want to use Redis here? So did you provide the justification? So that kind of bounce back I also experienced. So the way or the approach I take here is that this is my approach, that start with the abstractions and do a trade-off on them, that hey, if I use a wide column data store, probably I'll get a off the shelf sorting. So now or if I use key value store, I will get very fast hash based searches. And then if he or she is like, fine, yeah, I think that sounds fine. So then I get an opportunity and I say that I think there are a couple of options there, and that it will totally depend on the expertise or the org's adoption. We can always go ahead with maybe Dynamo or Cassandra or Scylla, whatever suits our need, but that will depend on the experience of the team or the individual. So but we are open to any of those. So that is how I go about it. Now what exactly how it is taken up, I'm not very sure. And
looks like he got lost. Let me stop the recording.
Okay, I thought my